a progress report on the new Walt Disney World in Florida. This room at the Walt Disney Studios is the command post for Project Florida. Here are the aerial photographs and survey maps, the plans and models that were the beginning of Walt Disney's greatest dream. A few short years ago, surrounded by these same maps and plans and models, Walt spoke of this dream.
Welcome to a little bit of Florida here in California. This is where the early planning is taking place for our so-called Disney World project. But before I go into any of the details, I want to say just a word about the site of our Florida project. As you can see on this map, we have a perfect location in Florida, almost in the very center of the state. In fact, we selected this site because it's so easy for tourists and Florida residents to get here by automobile. Now, in larger scale on this map, our Florida land is located partly in Orange County and Osceola County, between the cities of Orlando and Kissimmee. And the important thing is that the Disney World is located just a few miles from the crossing point of Interstate 4 and Sunshine State Parkway, Florida's major highways carrying motors east and west and north and south in the center of the state. We're now developing a master plan that encompasses the theme park and all the facilities around it that will serve the tourists. Hotels, motels, and a variety of recreation activity. In fact, just this little area alone is 5 times the size of Disneyland in California. But as you can see on this master plan, the theme park and all the other tourist facilities fill just one small area of our enormous Florida project. According to this scale, I am 6 miles tall. Now it's 12 miles from here up to here, and the whole area encompasses 27,400 acres. That is 43 square miles, twice the size of the island of Manhattan. Here in Florida, we have something special we never enjoyed at Disneyland, a blessing of size. There's enough land here to hold all of the ideas and plans we could possibly imagine. Right now, our plans include an airport of the future down here in Osceola County, an entrance complex where all visitors will enter Disney World, an industrial park area covering about 1,000 acres, and of course, the theme park area way up here. Everything in this room may change time and time again as we move ahead. But the basic philosophy of what we're planning for Disney World is going to remain very much as it is right now. We know what our goals are. We know what we hope to accomplish. And believe me, it's the most exciting and challenging assignment we've ever tackled at Walt Disney Productions.
And so, Walt Disney's great dream became reality. Very early in the game, it began to be unveiled for the public. Always the showman, Walt had decided it should have its own proper setting. And so, one of the first buildings to be completed on the site was this handsome information headquarters and reception center. Inside the reception center, a special theater had been constructed in which to present the Disney World story. The main feature was a scale model visualization of what Disney World would look like on opening day. And here it is. The parking lot in the foreground, Bay Lake for water sports on the right, the tropical lagoon with its resort hotels on the left, and the theme park with its towering Cinderella Castle in the distance. As our hostess and tour guide tells the story in full detail, suppose we pretend we are opening day visitors. Where do we go first? Well, it's likely we would leave our car and our cares behind us, hop on the Disney World monorail, and find ourselves delivered to the exciting new contemporary hotel. Not just at the doorstep, but right in the lobby, only a few steps from our room. Next stop, if there are kids in the family, almost certainly the Magic Kingdom. Recreation for the whole family. Rides, theaters, entertainment, restaurants. More of this story later. Now suppose Mom and Dad want a game of golf. 2 championship courses with lots of water hazards to test their every shot. Perhaps lunch on the way at the new Disney-designed and Disney-managed Asian Hotel. The Polynesian Hotel will carry one to the South Pacific and even supply a coral reef where one may dive for pearls. All of these new hotels will be managed and run as a working part of Walt Disney World. This one is a bit of Venice and St. Mark's Square, Venetian throughout in design and decor. This one will be a vision out of the Arabian Nights, the Persian Hotel, a veritable palace of the hotel keeper's art. For simpler tastes, there will be the Trailer Park Campground, a small-scale city in itself. And along with it, the Diamond D Dude Ranch, where small-sized cowpoke meets large-sized horse. Who cares about girls? Unless it might be this one. Afterwards, a tour along the Art Walk. Here, every phase and every facet of Walt Disney World is sketched and visualized in complete detail. This was Walt Disney's way, part of his meticulous thoroughness. Here is the decor of the Polynesian Hotel, whose rich interiors will reflect the exotic arts and graces of the South Pacific. And here is the hotel to be as contemporary as tomorrow, where the monorail will pause in the lobby itself. These 2 hotels will be the first to be made ready for guests on opening day. Besides the monorail, there will be water transportation of every sort, sailboats, water taxis, and excursion steamers. This is the side-wheeler Osceola that will ply Bay Lake and all the inviting byways of the tropical lagoon. And these will be the landmark features of the theme park itself. The Cinderella Castle, towering above Fantasyland like a vision from a fairy tale. The railroad station, done in the grand manner, what might be called Victorian grand. The City Hall. Every proper American town has to have a City Hall. As Walt always said, here is where children can find lost parents. Main Street America, period 1910, reflecting Walt Disney's own boyhood. Here is a place dedicated to the American spirit, to fun and frolic, and to nostalgia. And Liberty Square, USA. Here, the visitor will go back in time to colonial days and come to know something of our American heritage. This reception center has been open since February 1969, and already 500,000 people have passed through its doors. Walt Disney World itself expects 8 million people in its first year, and will open to the public in October of this year.